Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Corey, aka Blockchain, and I am a full-time professional trader. And I wanted to just make sure I did a quick video for a very exciting announcement. I am actually going to be giving away one of my masterclasses at the end of this month. It's a $500 value, completely free to you. All you have to do is make sure you comment, subscribe, smash the likes on this video, and you will be entered to win. I will be doing the drawing at the end of the month for one lucky winner, and all you have to do is support my YouTube channel here. So make sure you smash the likes, hit that subscribe button, comment below, and you will have an automatic entry to the free masterclass. And yes, you can do it on multiple videos. So each time you do it on one of my videos, it will give you an entry. So the more, the better. So again, guys, smash the likes, hit that subscribe, ring that little bell, comment below, and good luck. And let's go ahead and dive into the charts. All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Blockchain coming at you with another Bitcoin technical analysis update. I'm also going to dive into ETH and Link real quick, as well as we did have a weekly close last week, and just kind of see where we're at from there. But of course, if you're new to my channel, we're starting off real quick on blockchaintrading.com. I highly suggest you go over there and check it out. Hit this little get in touch button, and I'm actually going to give you a video demonstration of my #1 trading strategy that is consistent, profitable, reliable, and applicable to any market. We also have the blockchain TA gear. And then the exclusive Discord with over 1,000 traders and a few handful, I guess, professional traders that do this full time, including myself, that will be on there posting our technical analysis, thoughts, positions, signals, all kinds of good stuff. So you can definitely get in there. Big bonus is actually a 14-day trial for just 25 bucks. And then we do have my masterclass for $297 as well, which I'm actually giving one away this month. All you have to do is subscribe, comment, and like the video, and I'll give you an entry into the drawing. So all right, so without further ado, let's actually dive into the chart real quick. And let's see where we are at. So real quick on a weekly, let's see here, let's let this thing load. All right, so we did have a weekly close above the R3 resistance, which is pretty big, something we've been watching it for as well. And then we also did actually print a sell signal right here on the weekly at the same time, but we haven't gotten a major pullback from it. Normally we'll, for these to be confirmed, we want to see a pretty big aggressive pullback, not really consolidation, which is what we're doing. You can see the last one that we got here. Let's go and pull the price range. So just from high to low, I mean, we had a nice little 20% drop on the last one, and then go back. So we had these two here. So we had this one. It's about a 19% pullback, and then the one after it, which is at the resistance. You know, had a, I guess, overall from that move right there, about a 24% pullback. So they definitely do. They're a pretty decent indicator that normally you get a pretty strong pullback, but haven't really seen it yet. But it is possible we could be getting it here in the near future. So let's look into the daily real quick. In regards to the other indicators, we did bounce out of the volume band on the RSI, so we'll be looking for a potential bounce on it. But if I were to guess, being that we are up here at the 85-ish, that we're going to break back in and find support here on the top of the bullish control zone, kind of similar to, you know, what we did back here. So if we stayed in it, but like this one, that was probably going to be the biggest thing, really what I'm looking for, where we come back in, have our pullback, and get that bounce off of the bullish control zone, and then, you know, kind of bounce off from there. So let's look at the daily real quick. Daily, we do have a new set of pivots to pull back off of. Actually, I'm going to put a line here on the weekly. All right, so let's go back to the daily. So right here is our weekly resistance, which we are consolidating right above, but we're also printing this triangle formation as well. Now, for it to be an actual triangle, RSI does have to match, and I'm not seeing that. We do have not the most strength in this triangle, I would say, being that we're inside of the bullish control zone. However, we're underneath the fast EMA, and we're still getting pushed down. So not a lot of strength, but I mean, this one is going to be pretty interesting in regards to a break, because it will be a pretty decent follow through, I would say. Normally these consolidating triangles do tend to break to the downside versus the upside. So I'll be looking for a break one way or the other, but with some continuation. Overall, from a larger scale on the daily, there's actually a couple different things that we're looking at, or at least I've been looking at, and doing a follow through in regards to this. Could be potentially a C wave of this move here, being an ABC. Like that. This move up here would be the A, and then just pulling a fib. Boom, boom, boom. You can see we do have a little bit of room to go still to get to the 1.618, but we're consolidating above the 1.382. So we'll go ahead and just put a little line here as well. Change the color, make that a darker blue. So we kind of see a little bit of a range in regards to what we're looking for it to get up here to the 21.2, we'll call it 21.175, somewhere in there. The rest of the indicators on the daily, you can see that it's actually has had a pretty decent reset ever since we've had this drop, where price moved up very quickly, but RSI did not. So we're still consolidating in the bullish control zone. We do have a kind of a weaker sell signal here on the market liberator. And overall moves, the only thing that would really make sense for this to go into new highs is really for this guy to be impulsive, making really this whole thing a 1. This is your 2. This is your 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Going up here, we'd have a larger 4 pullback again, and then go up again for a 5th. And that would really ultimately kind of be what I'm looking for this to get above the $21,000 mark. Now it is possible that we're in a 4th wave of the 5th wave. Give us one more little kick up to that 21.3 mark. But let's look at let's break it down to, let's just dive straight into an 8-hour real quick and see what we're at here. So we are right on top of the pivot, and what I was saying by this potentially being a 4th wave, it's pretty drawn out. It's a little bit longer drawn out than I would hope, and really what I like to see for it to be a 4th wave, being that, rule of alteration does say a 4th wave would be longer, but basically we'd be doing something like that to finish off a 5th wave, get us up here to basically 21,000. That also put us right up here at the 1.618 of 21,100 if we did get a little bit of a move right above it. And then after that, I would honestly look for a pretty decent move to the downside, and start looking at potentially coming back to the weekly resistance that we were at before for a little bit of a bounce, which is at 18, but I'd honestly look for us to come back into at least 17-ish, because if you look at, I'm gonna go back up to the daily here, sorry for bouncing around, but with a 4th wave, we normally get a pretty decent pullback, and I'd honestly look for it to come back. 17.5 is right there at that pivot, so I'd look for it to at least get pulled back there, but honestly have a pretty good buy up and then have another 5th wave up that would take us to new highs, and then if it is impulsive, then it's actually it's not going to be off of that one, so maybe off of this guy here. So if that was the 1, not much of a retracement for a 2. Like so. Look for a move at least to 23 after the 4th wave, up to 25. And then, if we do get overextended, then we can start looking at up here at 31 roughly. So let's get back into the smaller time frame. Focus on what we were looking at. So yeah, so potentially 4th wave territory. That also put us right up there at the 3.618, being if this is a 3rd wave overextended, so it need to consolidate a little bit more, but sit right on top of the pivot. But I look for a move up here to 21,000, and then honestly have a pretty decent rejection here at the $21,000 mark. If this is still in a correction state, which we definitely still can be. It is. I am leaning a little bit more to the upside at the moment. 1, just how bullish the market is, and 2, with the way that some of these indicators have reset. That's normally pretty common for a 4th wave. You can see that the RSI has been trending down and resetting, even though we've really been kind of just going sideways. So if this were to be, if we do end up breaking down to the downside, this would end up being a B wave, so basically an A and a B and then a C back down here. That would first look for the 18.4, then 18, and then we have a bunch of the EMA supports down here at the S3 at 17.3, 17.4. So yeah, that's the way I'm leaning. Obviously, I think with these trend lines, the way that we've been, forming this triangle pattern, I don't think it's an actual triangle, being that the RSI doesn't match it really. That's ultimately the way that you're looking at going. It could be as easy as right here being an ABC, and then this is our 1, this is our 2, and then going to start for the 3, 4, 5 on the move up. But we'll find out if we break this trend line up here and then start to visit the high 19s again. So. Let's take a quick look at ETH. Let's do this one actually. All right, so pretty interesting with ETH. It doesn't really happen on BYBIT, but it happens on Kraken all the time. We had these crazy wicks. This one actually price action followed it shortly after. This one had a nice bounce off of the pivot. So pretty interesting. Doesn't normally happen on BYBIT, which is why I like to chart off of it. It makes it pretty clean. On the weekly, that's actually not the best one to go off of on a weekly, so there's a lot of history on it. And that one's all over the place. All right, so we'll go back, look at the weekly. Obviously pretty strong close above it here on the weekly, so we'll go back to the daily, where we're kind of just bouncing, consolidating in between the pivot and the R1. And it looks to me this pretty easy ABC right here in the middle. Boom, boom, boom. Potentially starting to look out for a 1, 2, and if that's the case, I mean that's pretty much following what Bitcoin's at. I mean, pretty shallow 1, I'd say, or pretty shallow 2. Yeah, that'd give us room to break the R2, come back, bounce off of it, 4-wave 4, come back and hit the R3 on the daily at 799, and then have another pullback after that. ETH looks pretty interesting just in regards to just how it kind of just started off here. It looks overall, man, it's gonna be kind of tough just because this move right here just happened so quick, so fast. It looks to me like it had an ending diagonal on it, and then we're kind of right back into it. So I mean, I think we would have to get up here in order for this to really mean anything to keep it impulsive, just because it does look you know, almost corrective. It doesn't look like a continued strong movement with this pullback that we've had right here, which is, you know, making me lean towards the corrective side. I mean, we can still have a quick move up here. Let's just say that it is impulsive. We have this kick up. 1.618 puts us at 738. Yeah, which is typical for a wave 3 territory, but normally when things get pretty bullish, we'll get overextended. If we get over 700, I could see us getting pretty bullish to break that 1.618, but it's close to not really looking the most impulsive, and looking, you know, to where it's coming off corrective as like a, say, a double zigzag, especially that we hit the 1.236. You know, if we don't get over that for a next move, where it could start looking a little bit more corrective, and just making it like a WXY correction for this entire move up for ETH, which would, you know, ultimately means that we'd come back down to the downside pretty heavy at some point. Yeah, that's definitely something we'll have to keep our eye on, but it also does look like we are coming off in that triangular corrective pattern, similar to where Bitcoin is at as well. We are just kind of, you know, getting wedged, but it is looking like we're on it to bounce off of the pivot up here at 582, and get a nice little reset. You can see that we are towards the bottom of the volume band, and testing the bottom of the bearish control zone at the same time, which pretty decent, you know, reset for, you know, how little it's really dropped from up here. So, all right. So ultimately for moves, looking for a high of basically that 734 up here, and let's see, where was it on the daily? 790 on the daily. So I don't know if we'll get up there, based upon the fib channel, but if we do get up here to the 1.618, you know, I'm sure we'd come back and test this support at 795 and try to establish 700 as a support zone once we do break it. Let's actually see some history here. What's 700 at? I actually had some, actually right back in here for that 700 mark. You can see we tried to do it right here and then failed. So yeah, so pretty interesting. So let's zoom back in onto the other chart here. So near term, I'd like to see us get up and test that 700 mark for a potential wave 5. Yeah, pretty easy ABC right here. Cool. Yeah, yeah. I know they say they break to the downside. I'm leaning more towards the upside based on ETH and Bitcoin on this one, though. So let's take a look at Link real quick. Oh yeah, look at it. Look at Link. So this is what I was looking for last time on the last video. You know, this does look corrective. A bunch of 3-wave moves. So still looking at potentially at ABC. I was looking for us to potentially come back down, test the trend line here at basically 12.1. You know, we might get a little quick move down and then move back up, and take off. So, all right. Yeah, I think the rest of that still holds in regards to, I mean, it would potentially could start a new move up, but I think it could basically turn into a WXYXZ, you know, at that point, which, you know, we'd still have another leg to the downside for Link. And then just real quick on Tezos here, this was another one I was looking at, but yeah, not exactly printing healthy picture at the moment. You know, if we do break this trend line, we're right at that S1 for support as well. You know, if we do break that, I would be looking for further continuation to the downside, and, you know, start looking at the 2.1 or basically 2, with that break. You know, we are just getting pushed down based upon these fast EMAs, but it's also it would be a pretty decent buy signal if we do get a bounce off of one of these coming up, or even here on the 6 hour. If we do bounce off of this S1 and start moving up, so that would actually happen here in the near future. So I might look for XTZ for a little bit of some future prediction on, you know, Bitcoin and ETH as we go through and move those. Because if we get a buy signal here, you know, I think that'd be pretty bullish in regards for some of the other coins as well. So it's always nice to kind of look, try and pair some up, see what they're saying. But ultimately, guys, these are my thoughts overall in the market. If you guys like my content, make sure you guys smash the likes, hit that subscribe button, comment below, and get your entry into the masterclass. All right, guys, have a good night.